and welcome to The Huddle. Well, 2 coaches to go in our preseason series, speaking to all the NBL coaches. And today it's Dean Vickerman, head coach of Melbourne United and 7-time championship winning coach in the NBL, 4 as an assistant and 3, of course, as the man in charge. Vico, welcome, mate. How are things?
Yeah, things are going good. Just enjoying a little weather out the back here, but into practice and enjoying putting this group together.
Look at you. Practice is done and you're just catching a few rays.
That's how it should be, right? You're not supposed to be at the offices longer than you need to be, so you got to get out.
Did you watch Josh today?
I only caught a couple of minutes. So start of the fourth quarter when they were making a little run. But yeah, playing some defense that group was at the start of the fourth. I actually didn't even see how the game ended up, but did they get the win?
Got the win. They got the win. Josh had 18 and 10. Only LeBron has had in NBA history 10 or more assists at a younger age than what Josh did today.
Yeah, we all hoped, I guess, that he would be this good. And I know, the scouts that rang me, and it was like, well, they're comparing him to LaMelo, and it's like, wow, his vision's probably as good, and he's got the size, and I love the way he grew through the year. And so, yeah, it's just phenomenal to see what he's able to do so far. And he just looks big out there. And, they look like they're playing him off the ball a little bit more as well. And so, yeah, it looks like he's got a great situation.
Before we start talking about this coming season, which we will do for sure, because it's only a matter of weeks away, let's go back to last season, because free agency started like 2 days after you won the championship. And I felt like it was the title win that almost flew under the radar in the NBL, because you were the favorites. It was a short grand final series, and then it was a super quick turnaround into free agency and the Olympics. And I don't think it was celebrated as much as it should have been. When you now look back at it a few months down the track and you've had a chance to reflect, what are you most proud of from that championship campaign last season?
Yeah, and you're right. We didn't get to celebrate it enough. But, we got into free agency really quickly, and it took a little gloss off it. But what am I most proud of? Obviously you deal with things through the year, and Jack White was something that just really hurt the whole group. Seeing him having that season-ending injury, and then but then bringing DA in at the end of it, and just to have that veteran head be around the group in the championship run, and just connecting with people, and he just gave us that extra little spark that I thought this group needed as well. So there's so many things that you can talk about, but seeing Jock Landale stand up in game 2 in the semi-final series, that was amazing right when we needed him, and it proved he was an NBA player. And he is.
Bit of building work going on next door.
Yeah, they're 7 days a week. They I don't even know if they stop for restrictions, but there's a bit of banging going on.
One of the things I thought was really cool about what you guys did last season is the way you managed the talent that you had, because recruiting is obviously a big part of winning, right? Putting the team together, constructing a roster made up of lots of talent, but also creating a situation where that talent develops chemistry and is all bought in. And when you've got a guy like Scotty Hopson, who we know at his best is an MVP caliber performer in this league, playing a role off the bench and buying into that, Shea Ely playing off the bench, Joe Luala-Chul bursting at the seam for minutes, 6th man of the year, and the buy-in that you guys had, not only for playing time and roles, but also at the defensive end of the floor as well. What was the key for you from a coaching perspective in building a team of fully bought in dudes last season?
Yeah, some of it was was opportunity. And, you know, Scotty Hop, we learnt things about quarantine, you know, about how quickly to engage people in practice. And we thought, you know, looking back at it, we probably brought him in a little bit early, and he suffered for that the first part of the year. And you know, that allowed opportunity for Sam McDaniels to find a role. You know, again, you know, Udai Bubble was one that, you know, when Shea Illy went down for a little while, and Jack White and Hop and different things, he got his opportunity. And so, yeah, that became really difficult for when you talk about that one to say, because people grabbed their opportunity when they came.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, do we stick with this? Do we reward something? So yeah, there was really challenging conversations about who we started and who we didn't, but we were very upfront, you know, with guys about, you know, what we wanted from them, and you know, if it changed and it was more or less, you know, we were very quick to let them know that we thought their role was going to adjust a little bit. But yeah, it was just a competitive environment, and you know, Scotty wanting to win more than anything accepted the role that he was given, and again showed up in massive moments in the finals.
Well, let's talk about those massive moments, because I think when you really find out about a person or a team is when things are at their toughest, you know, when things aren't necessarily going well. And you know, when it goes right back, you start at the very start of the year and you put together your values and you start the work that you're going to do on the floor, and then you develop all those things throughout the year. And I imagine a big part of that is when the chips are on the table, what everything we've put in place is going to come to the fore, and you hope that happens. And in game 3 of the semi-final series, you're down 17 and you're staring down the barrel of not advancing to the grand final. Is that first 2-part question? Is that one of the proudest wins of your career, the way the team clawed back and won that game? And secondly, what was it, do you feel, that came out in that moment from the group?
Yeah, there was a trust in the way that we were going about it. Was probably the biggest thing, because you know, Kiefer was tough, and he was amazing. And there was one that's like, oh, we're going to live with this. This is what we said we're going to live with. And it got to that point where, wow, we need to? It's getting really close to changing coverage and doing something different. And but we went back and said, no, we can still do it better. And we did. And over time, you know, we made his shots a little more tougher. But we got rolling at the other end. I thought, you know, we still got good looks in that first half to hang around, but they didn't go for us. But defensively was the one that was always, when we weren't rolling, held us tight all year, and they got hold of us. You know, they got hold of us through that patching, went up 17. But yeah, once you see it turn, once you see a few stops and the ball goes through the hole a few times, and then the belief grew in what we were doing, and the trust grew in what we were doing. And yeah, love the way that thing played out.
You talked about Jock, and he's playing in the NBA right now. Jock and Chris at the Olympics straight after that grand final win. Did you sit back with some pride and enjoyment watching what those guys were able to be a part of?
Yeah, you know, for both of them. You know, I thought, you know, Chris's body was in such good shape last year, and, you know, so proud of what he got, the opportunities that were given. You know, they weren't always every game, but in big moments, again, you know, Gorge and the team put a lot of trust in him to, you know, to do what he does, and shoot the ball at a really high clip, and be solid defensively. You know, Jock, you know, it was just, I guess that was that whole period for the Olympics through him. Was he going to be an NBA player? And at times, you know, last year with us, that part was tough for him, because it was going to happen. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. And he kept dealing with that. And so, you know, elated for him that here he is on the world stage in a massive tournament, and finally he gets the contract and he's locked in to be an NBA player and wins a medal. So yeah, for both of them, extremely pleased.
Where do you feel Chris is at right now in his journey? All NBL second team again last year, became a championship winning captain for the second time. Brilliant, as you say, at the Olympics. We've seen him tear it up in the NBA preseason a number of years. He turned 33, I think, the other day. Where's he at?
Yeah, and he went over to the Warriors, had a little tryout, and the feedback that he got was amazing, and you kind of feel like if the opportunity was right on a team, that he could have picked up something. So he's right there, and he continues to show that, and the trust that we have in him, but as both a leader, as a scorer, and a continuing developing defender. Like, it's just his numbers defensively were great last year, and they have continued to improve. And so, he's just all about winning right now, and that captaincy is really important. We went away from it for a little while last year at the start of the year. We had a revolving, you're our guy, we need to follow you. And he did an amazing job the second half of the year leading this group.
It would have been amazing at age 32 to have picked up that contract with the Warriors. Was there a minute there where you thought it might actually happen?
When you're on a plane and you're flown over there, there's always the worry as the coach. And even Joe Akul going to Summer League this year, and it's like, he's going to be over there. He's both of them. The right situation, right opportunity, could certainly be NBA players. But again, you wish them well, and just like we do, Scotty Hop, who's going to be around the NBA this year, Udai Bubba, who's going to be around the NBA, Jock Landale, 3 guys from our program, and then we're talking about 2 other guys from our program as well that are fringe. So, it's just a privilege to be working with the players that we have.
Do you get the sense that there are lower public expectations on you guys entering this season?
Yeah, I think so. And in part, teams have loaded up. The rest of the league has really recruited well and used the 30 import rule, used the Asian player, the next star rule. Everyone's done everything they can. I think it's been an amazing off season for the league. And people look at us and say, how do you replace Mitch McCarron, Udai Bubba, Jock Landale, Scotty Hobson? How do you replace that kind of talent? And certainly that's been the challenge of the off season.
So some new guys in the mix: Delhi, Caleb Agata, Ariel Hukporti. What have been your early impressions of those new additions on the practice court?
Yeah, Delhi, first one. It's great to have him. It's everything that's advertised. You see to start with. You see the relentlessness. You see the win extra possessions because I'm going to go get a loose ball. But now we've asked him to say, hey, go back to St. Mary's days and let's see you be the scorer that you were there. Let's see you do all these other things. And he's playing one-on-one with Shea Ili, Joe Akul, different guys after practice. And he's like, wow, I just haven't done this for ages. I'm doing things. I feel like my game's going to grow again. So, and we're kind of changing him to say, you don't have to be pass first guy. You can be a little bit score first and then draw people. And so there's just a different mindset that we're moving with him. So, yeah, I think we'll see, massive growth throughout the year as him as an attacking offensive weapon that we always know that he's going to have the passing tools to set everybody up as well. So I'm really excited about that, really excited about the person, the culture that he brings to our group as well. Caleb Agata, probably his first real full session today in the full court. There's no doubt he's a scoring weapon, and showed offensive rebounding today, showed that in transition, he's going to be super tough. He loves to get out and play fast. shot the ball at a high clip, and then he's shown that he can distribute. So, just what we wanted, fitting in with Delhi and Chris, and we want that combo guard that can play make and score. And we had so many, boxes to try and tick for that spot, replacing Scotty Hop. And so far he's ticked a lot of them. Ariel, he can be anything. It's just amazing. The athleticism is not indifferent or better than Sean Long. He sprint is, right up there with Joe Akul when he just sprints. And then the shot blocking is, continuing to impress. And we've got to get his fitness to another level. We've taken it slowly with him, but engaged and activity when he's got energy, he is a true NBA player. And look forward to seeing the growth in him. And he's talking about this is under 14s. I haven't had so much fun playing basketball since I was under 14s. And coming from Lithuania, which we know with Jock Landale was a tough one. And but him, he's big happy, and he's a fun guy to be around. And if we get him in great shape, he can go do well in the draft.
You haven't done the Next Stars thing before now. Was it him? Was it particularly what you saw in him that made you decide to jump on board and go down that route?
Yeah, I think it was obviously we wanted to see what happened with Jock, and then at that point was like, well, we really need to. Joe's just won Sixth Man of the Year. He needs to elevate in what he does for us, and then what do we do? What kind of input do we need? What kind of position do we need to really support Joe and for our program? And then when Ariel come across our desk, it's like, wow, this kid, if he can be what we want him to be. He ticks all the boxes that we need. He's different to Joe in the body type that he's got. He made 2 threes in practice today, so there's tools there, and there's minutes there, which is going to be important. And we feel like they have the ability to play together as well, which we've tried at different times before with Joe playing some minutes at the 4 and going big. So he offers us some different looks.
What do you want to see from Joe Achul this season? What's the next step in his development?
Yeah, I think the confidence that we got from the 2 games that Jock kind of missed last year. I think there was one game, might have been against the Kings or something, that he took the tip and then he was out, and then he missed another game as well. And so, Joe was so solid in those minutes where he played kind of the 26-minute kind of mark. And when you're the 6th man, you kind of come in with a punch, and are you going, are you not going, and your minutes are a little bit more limited. So I thought he just relaxed a little bit more when he knew that his minutes were going to be there, and he didn't have to kind of impress to stay out there, and just relaxed a little bit more and let the game come to him. So I hope that's what we see from him this year, that he'll force things at different points and be aggressive and those kind of things. But I just thought in those 2 games that he started and played good minutes for us, he was a little bit more relaxed in the way that he played. Last
question, man. I want to ask you about your own legacy. You've joined Andre and the General now as guys who have won 3 titles as a head coach. Only Brian Curl, Trevor, and Gorge have won more. I mean, you've built an environment and a situation there in Melbourne where you're contending and or you're winning championships year in, year out. Do you have one eye on those all-time records and the greats of the game in this league while you're doing your thing on a day-to-day, year-to-year basis right now?
Not at all. I really don't. I love winning as much as anyone, and I do take pride in in saying that I've been a part of 7 championships in this league. You know, I take great pride in that. But yeah, as a head coach, assistant coach, you know, team member, it doesn't matter to me. You do your job on the team, and right now, you know, my job is to lead this group, and we've got, you know, we've returned our assistant coaches, and so that part's been stable. We've got, you know, guys that are shooting for higher levels, and it becomes fun. You know, Jack White he's going to be one of the big parts of us being better this year. Is his return. Shea Ili was injured for nearly the whole year. He's going to be, you know, massive in our growth. And so for me, it's, you know, as long as I'm still the right guy and the club believes I'm still the right guy to lead, you know, I want to do it. And then hopefully down the track one day, you know, I can, you know, move into the front office and I can help in that way once my time's done. I want to stay in the game a long time, and hopefully there's continues to be a good role for me.
Awesome, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks heaps for the chat, and good luck for the season, man. Pre-season not far away, and then crack back in and try to defend that title.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.